Now we're gonna get serious. So, seriously. First.
I'd like to know how the story came to your mind, and if it was first the science fiction element, or the love element, or the dramatic element, or both.
Next question. No, I'm just kidding. The science fiction came first. Usually what happens is I think about the paradigm shift, or like the big idea, and then I figure out what story I really want to tell within that construct. So first I came up with the idea of duplicate eyes, and then the story I wanted to tell was a story about the different types of love.
Okay, the performance of the actors are very natural, sometimes spontaneous, especially in the case of Astrid. I'd like to know if you worked a lot before the shooting with them, or if it was to get this realistic approach to the acting.
We had some rehearsals which were really wonderful. It would have been nicer to have more, although maybe not because the performances are so amazing. But we workshopped it at my apartment in Brooklyn, and
a lot.
And Astrid and Michael, you know, the thing is, I have an incredibly huge respect for actors because I think they do one of the most impossible jobs in the world, which is to be authentic, surprising, and vulnerable in front of a camera apparatus, which is completely not a real situation. And so to do that in a real manner is just impossible. And they also come with all this research and history and backstory to their characters that they develop everything that happens before page one. And so they end up becoming really incredible assets and resources for me as a director when making the movie. So it allows for a lot of great ideas to come from rehearsals, and I incorporate them very quickly into the story.
And it seems that the camera is always trying to capture these details of the actors.
Yes.
And these subtle little things.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
That was really what we workshopped. I think it was like being conscious of all the subtexts that were going on, and not losing them in such a hurry moment that we had on set, because we didn't shoot the movie with a lot of time.
Right.
And so it was how all those elements were present.
Right, we were always very conscious of what was being spoken underneath the words. So like the meaning beneath the words, which is sometimes contradictory or just different from the actual words that come out of the mouth, or sometimes there's no words but there's still meaning. And so we had that as a compass and a guide, and that informs, you know, how the camera moves, what the aesthetic is, what the feeling and the choices of visuals meeting up with the emotions of the protagonists.
Okay, and what about your character? What did you like more at first about the character and about the script?
Everything. But like she's such a special character that he wrote, and I was hypnotized by the character. She's like, I like to say that she's like 400 years old and 10 years old at the same time, and just lives the present and just gonna guide, and more than guide, open Ian's mind to not reach the point that he wants to reach, but the one afterwards in his researches, and I like the fact that she can take anything, and sometimes in the film she takes things of his vocabulary and his environment, even if she doesn't like this environment, to explain to him things that she's all the time trying to explain to him, but mostly what I like is the story. It has like so many deep, so many different subjects, and in the same time, every character, every situation, everything in the story has like many strikes and stripes. Strikes or stripes?
Stripes.
Stripes, and everything is so subtle underneath. But as an actor, you really enjoy these situations where you don't have one thing to play. You just have to let yourself into the situation where a completely world is moving on.
And do you feel close to the character? It was easy for you to connect with her spirituality and.
I don't know how much I'm like Sophie, but I loved her from the first moment I read the script, the first page she appears. And I think when you love so much someone, you would do anything to just become this person. And that's part of my work. And then it's very weird because such a animal character, she looks like an animal sometimes. It's very funny because I didn't construct her from a physical point, but more from the way she talks. And when I got to New York, I remember that I was very worried because I was like trying to get like an English accent, and Mike was like, Astrid, I love your accent, I think it can tell us a lot of things. And he was right on this direction, and so then from this point I tried to use this and to play with it, to be able to just do language mistakes on purpose, that were bringing second meanings and a part of mystery, and all this combined, and like being able to just transform the dialogues. And so we were like talking a lot about the dialogues, and so to be able to to bring Sophie in in present moment, but also intuitively in the moment after. It was something like that, right?
Completely. And that sort of nuance and complexity is what you brought so fluidly to this character. It was amazing. It's amazing to see.
I really like the delivery scene, how it's conceived.
Yeah.
As first the audience does not realize what is happening as you.
We should not explain this.
Yeah, this is secret. Spoiler, man. Way to give it away.
It was very weird.
You mean the scene in the elevator where the balloons?
Like everybody's gonna freak out when they see the elevator. We should not have this.
You mean the scene with the elevator where the camel enters, and then there's like the clown with the balloons, and like the flying seagulls?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't explain that part. It's good to keep that secret.
Okay. So. I suppose you didn't see at first when you first seen the complete movie and see the Indian girl. Well, it's a spoiler again, but
but this you see it in the trailer. You don't see.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's amazing how she looks like her. It's some,
that's magical too.
Is it some digital or effect, or is more a result of
intensive casting? Intensive casting.
It's something in her eyes, in her look.
Well, this is where casting is an exciting art form unto itself, which is that Dilip Shankar, who is the casting director in India, I gave him probably one of the hardest tasks you can give a casting director, which is to find a feel alike, someone who has the same energy, has the same essence as not Astrid, but as Sophie, right? So.
And we had not started to shoot already, so it was
descriptive.
Like knowing Sophie at that point.
It was an intense challenge, and he rose to the occasion And you know, we also saw like 1,000 young actresses, first-time actors in India, and Kashish was just, she had that thing.
I was surprised myself.
Yeah.
Okay, that's that. We don't have more time, but it was great.
All right.
All right, that's a awkward way to wrap it up, but okay.
It's not our fault.
Do you want us to do a closing thing? Did you press record, ready? Thank you, Sitges. It's been a pleasure and an honor.